and a Ramondre in a second. I feel like if you took that, see what he says, but I feel like if you take that third out, might be willing to accept it. See what he says first. Who knows? He might take it because people don't appreciate the third round pick in our league, and I do.
You think I wonder if I should try to, if I traded him Romeo Dubs, if he would send Zay Flowers.
That's a good one. See, that's I use
Because I have Christian Watson.
I actually use a couple of when I do trades. I use these two trade analyzers. Like one is like based off rankings, and the other one is like based off a point system.
Let's
So it kind of okay.
What's the name of one?
Hold on. Roto Trader is the one that's like position group. It's called Fantasy Football Trade, but it's by Roto Trade.
And Fantasy Football Trade.
Yeah. Yep. The one I use Roto. Let me see if I can find another one that uses the point system. I really like the point system because it gives you a range, and if you're within that range,
rototrade.com.
Yep, that's the one. And then the other one, the other one is keeptradecut.com.
Okay.
So what Keep Trade Cut does?
I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
View of this. All right. You see it? All right. Yep. So I would be giving up Ramondre Stevenson.
Okay.
And let's just say, okay, would you advise keeping Christian Watson despite the hamstring injury and sending Romeo Dubs?
Yes, let's try that first. Let's see what it says.
Let's do Romeo Dubs. Then we get. Think I should keep the one draft pick in here?
Yeah, I would. Let's see what you sent him first. Like, let's see the offer you sent him first and see what it says.
Well, I'm about to modify my offer.
Okay. So yeah, you want to throw in a second?
A 2024 second, and we don't know what it is.
I always do mid.
So like 6.
Yeah.
And Travis Etienne, Zay Flowers, and a 2024 second.
Yeah.
So a pick swap.
Yeah, pick swap. And put that one at 3 then, or 5, whatever.
I think 5. Let's analyze this.
Yeah, see, you're ripping them off. It is saying you are ripping him off. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to rip him off. Okay.
So now if you put that trade, there's one called keeptradecut.com. So what it'll do, it puts each player on a point system. So, if you're within a certain range, it's a fair trade. And if it's out of range, like it gives you suggestions at the bottom, like, oh, throw in a first, take out this. So you can, that's the one.
Try it. So same deal.
Hit. I don't know any of these players. Get that out of there.
Get out of here. All right. So Superflex off. Hold on. Is this right?
Should be. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, turn Superflex off. It takes a second.
All right, here we go. Ramondre Stevenson. Come on. Work with me. Travis Etienne. Ooh. Romeo Dubs. For mid-second. 2024 mid-second.
Yeah, now scroll down and it'll tell you what you can add on to make it even.
Well, unbeknown to, I do have this guy.
I can't see it. Who is it?
George Pickens.
Yeah. Or now take out Romeo Dobbs and throw in Christian Watson and see what's up, Kyle, and see what if that evens it out. I have a feeling it would. Yeah, see, I bet you if you threw in a third on top of that, you might be able to get it done.
This year's third?
Yeah.
say mid-third. Okay.
I mean, it's still a little off, but that's closer. Like I feel like the third would sweeten the deal. If you want to throw in a second, we already threw in a second. So how about this?
But I'm really trying to get Travis Etienne, right? So maybe.
So what if you took out the third and took out his second round pick? That might even it up. So instead of the pick swap, you just give a second. Yeah, there we go.
What do you think about this trade?
So for the people in the audio adventure, D would be giving up. I can't read that. So who would you be giving up?
So I would be trading away Ramondre Stevenson, 2024 second, and Christian Watson to get Travis Etienne and Zay Flowers.
I like that trade.
All right, well let's modify it in Sleeper and let's send it away.
But yeah, those are so whenever Greg comes and sends me ridiculous draft offers, sometimes like in the past, I've screenshotted and sent it to him and be like, come on, dog. What we doing here? So Kyle adds a little context. Kyle says if you're trying to get Etienne as your main target, you're probably better off removing Zay Flowers from the trade. I know Achilles is super high on Zay Flowers. Well, if that's the case, it could be Ramondre and a third round pick for Etienne. I wonder if that would do it.
So you mean, so let's look it up. Ramondre
in the third, straight for Etienne. Yeah, that's close. Like that's close enough. So what is it saying to add to make that even?
Add a player to team one to even trade.
Yeah, like what level of player are we talking here?
Jimmy Garoppolo, Chris Evans, Rico Dowdle, who I have. I believe I have Rico Dowdle. Actually, no, wrong league. No, I don't.
I would try that. Like that's so close. And see what they say.
Think?
Yeah. Give them a chance to counter. Because Achilles is in a win now mode, right?
Yeah. Yeah, let's see it.
Now, I mean, I don't know why I'm trying to help you win in Dynasty because I'm in the same league. Let me tell you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. As you can see, it is football season. Last time you guys saw us, it was before the football season even kicked off. We are back. The Speak On It boys are back as always. I am now the bro with the fro, and you know that I must speak on it so we can go. I got the WNBA playoffs behind me. I got a little wine in front of me. Kyle, we will discuss some trades here in a bit. But I'm here, ladies and gentlemen, with the smoothest bald head reigning on the East Coast, Mr. Danny Ocean, who I believe wants to talk to the people about some things.
I do. So last week, we've been off for 2 weeks. The first week we were off. D, you were traveling for work. And last week, I had to get a colonoscopy. And D, I tell you, I would not wish that preparation on anyone. Like this time last week, I was okay. But my brother, last Wednesday morning, torture rat.
First off, I don't like you with my brother and then talking about your colonoscopy. Like I can't relate to that. I'm listening.
My brother.
Oh.
D.
Listen.
There were points last Tuesday until 3 hours before the procedure when I would sit down and I did not know if I was peeing or pooping. It all just sounded like a flood. When they say they clean you out.
Oh, Jesus, take the wheel. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no,
and you can't eat anything. You can't eat.
Kyle, research. So if you so my man, so if he come back with a counter offer for Travis
you can't eat. It was so hard.
Oh, bro.
It was so hard to do, man. It was so painful.
Jesus. How are you feeling now?
I feel great. Like everything came. We're all good. But yeah, man. Like all you can eat is like clear Jello. Like you can't have anything that's red, purple, and blue. So you can have like clear Jello. You can have chicken broth, water, black coffee, and Gatorade, and that's it. That
This is an audio adventure.
that is it.
This is an audio adventure, and we do not need to be flooding the people's ears with this.
I'm just if you're getting ready for a
Ladies and
colonoscopy.
gentlemen, welcome to episode 115 of Speak On It. I am Losty Mix, of course, joined by Danny Ocean. Danny, let the people know who the podcast is brought to them.
This pod is brought to you by the good folks at GoingFor2.com. Football season is here. We're 2 weeks deep into fantasy. If you were like me, I'm going to Going for 2 for a lot of waiver wire advice because I employed Nick Chubb and I also employed Saquon Broccoli in the same league. So I'm scrambling right now. I'm 0-2 in that league, but I'm very fortunate that Going for2.com has my back. Waiver wires, trying to strategize so I don't finish in last place. That's all I'm aiming for right now. Not really concerned about winning. I just don't want to lose. So, I just want to finish in last place. So yeah, Going for2.com has really helped me formulate a strategy, and it can help you as well.
Danny, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we have a jam-packed schedule for you tonight.
Yes.
We're going to be talking some NFL. We're going to be talking some college football because I don't know if a lot of you know, but outside of my Virginia Tech fandom, I am also alumnus of the University of Colorado. So I'm going to speak on my buffs.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Oh, well, so hey, listen, you know back when you was young and your mama used to catch you in something, you that's when you knew you was faking it. That's when she knew you was lying.
You start mumbling.
I was scared. What? Nah, see, if you can mumble, you can hear. Come on now, just admit it. That's what they used to be like. When your mom used to be like, "Come on, I ain't gonna get mad at you. Just tell me the
biggest
truth."
lie on earth.
Oh, brother, up there with it wasn't you, it was me.
Yes, they are in the same tier of lie.
Listen, what did you do the first time a woman told you it wasn't you, it was her?
So full disclosure, I've never heard that.
You lying.
I am. I knew she was lying.
It's okay, my brother.
I knew she was lying.
You're happily married now, so fuck her.
Hello.
Talk to him.
Hey.
I seen your post.
We're gonna leave it at that. Happily married.
Happily married. Listen, first time a woman told me it wasn't me, it was her. Well, I didn't know that you weren't necessarily supposed to reinforce the behavior.
Oh, so you hit her with George Costanza will be proud.
I kind of hit her with the, you right, it is you, it ain't me. And she was like, wait, what? Yeah. That's what you gotta do sometimes. That reverse psychology. Yeah. Hit them with they hit you with it's not you, it's me. And you hit them with actually, the more you think about it, yeah, it is you. You might be a shitty person.
Yo, you are a terrorist. There are people women around this country who are just poor things. That's funny though.
Not my baby,
Not
though.
your baby.
Not my baby, though.
Such a sweet young lady.
Kyle said, yes, she is. Kyle says he has 6 shares of Nick Chubb's in 22 leagues. Now, you called me.
We know Kyle's an addict.
He said there are only 2 RBs I have more exposure of. Jamal Williams also hurt, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire hurt my eyes watching him.
Kyle, I was sad for Nick Chubb, right? He doesn't care about my fantasy team. He cares about his career. That's most important. But man, when they carted him off the field,
it's tough, man. Football is
it's
a tough
sport.
Well, we're here, ladies and gentlemen. We are through 2 weeks of the NFL regular season. Last night we had a NFL Monday night doubleheader, Browns Steelers in a good old fashioned divisional rivalry, and then we had the
Panthers and Saints.
Panthers and Saints, another divisional rivalry. I don't know why I forgot that. I kept wanting to say Patriots. Panthers and Saints down in Charlotte for a good old fashioned NFC South divisional rivalry. The Saints came away with a road victory in Charlotte, and The Steelers were able to maintain at home, mostly led by their defense. Danny, we can start here with the Monday night games.
Yeah,
Who are you more impressed by? The Saints' road win and their defensive lockdown, or the Steelers' home stand and their defensive lockdown?
definitely when you score 2 touchdowns. Yo, I watched the end of that Saints Panthers game, and the Saints almost choked that bad boy away. Like they let Bryce Young go down the field in the last 2 minutes and score. And if they got that onside kick, all they would have needed was a field goal because they got the score and the 2 point conversion to make it a field goal game. Had they covered the onside kick, you get the ball at midfield, you need 10, 15 yards, and we're talking about overtime. So definitely more impressed with the Steelers. Um, yeah, the Saints. I'm not a big Saints guy. I've been saying the Saints are frauds, and they almost. What's Hendricks doing behind you?
He looking around. He making sure the block is hot.
Okay,
He is.
okay.
Listen, listen. You hate on the Saints, but there's a reason why Derek Carr came here, and there's a reason why, as you heard Joe Buck talk about, there's a reason why he came here because specifically their defense. He noted, and Derek Carr, you shady for how you keep talking about the Raiders. It's okay. Listen, Derek Carr, we all had that girl that broke our heart, and we wasn't sure why, even though we did everything for him. She still left us. Trust me.
Nah, David Carr, unload the clip on the Raiders whenever you can. They in the gutter. Kick them while they're down.
What are you talking about? They 1-1.
Kick them while they're down, Derek. Do your thing.
Listen, Derek Carr, you gotta let that go. And listen, he said he wanted to come to the Saints because they had a good defense. And on top of that good defense, they have some young players and they have some good possession, older players. So they have a collection of veterans and young guys, and they are ready and primed to win a championship. I think when you mix in a veteran leadership of a guy who knows how to play in this league, he has done it at a high level with bad defenses in a division that's been dominated by what is now a dynasty almost damn near in Kansas City. I mean, Derek Carr can hold his own in a division where you just need 9, 8, 9, 10 wins to win the division.
Yeah.
I think he's coming in and getting acclimated to the culture. And listen, man, I think this Saints team is better than you want to give it credit for. But at the same time, I don't think that Panthers team is as bad as they initially showed in the first half. I think when you start giving Bryce Young some time, I mean, Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, they're out there fighting for their lives, which I want to call racism because how are y'all putting these early draft picks behind these bad offensive lines? But it's okay. It's okay. Texans, listen, something's going on. They was on their backups offensive line out there.
Yes, they are. Did you see? This is totally unrelated. Did you see the Michael Thomas thing after the game? One of the Panthers' defensive linemen almost tried to fight him in the locker room, and I think Chris Olave was throwing up signs for a certain gang that wears blue, and then some dude was like, "Hey, yo, what the fuck you doing, fam? Y'all professional football players. You can't be out here gangbanging."
Every day we stray closer and closer away from the light, and we approach Rico's.
Hey, speaking of which, how nasty is the nasty man? That boy cooked.
Listen, man. I'm not going to say thoughts and prayers, but I'm going to say that brother needs the massages.
Yeah, he was. Did you see? He pushed the ref last night. Like he made contact with the ref. We all saw it. And then in his press conference, he was like, "I didn't know such thing. Who touched the ref?" He just used to saying he not touching people. It's just
It's always that's a thing for him. He got a thing for touching some. Never mind.
Back to the Panthers. Last thing for me, I read today that the Panthers can't run the QB sneak because Bryce Young too little. Did you read that?
No, but it makes a lot of sense.
That makes me sad.
The brother 5'11".
You're too small to run the QB sneak.
Listen,
that's crazy.
That's why you pay Miles Sanders all that money. Go get that yard, young brother.
And then back to the Saints. Why I think they're bad, and I said this before we got on. Any team that needs to call Taysom Hill's number to run a wildcat snap to close out the game is cooked.
Yo, Taysom Hill said he gonna see you by that shit you
Cook.
talking.
Yo, he's got his money. He carved out a role for himself. I can't hate on that. But
Nah, don't try to
I,
walk
I
that back.
remember
Taysom
when
Hill said he
I
gonna see you.
remember when Sean Payton was there.
Taysom Hill said he gonna shine that bald head of yours.
Yo,
You better,
pause. Yo, hey,
you better.
yo.
Hey, yo, nah, come on, son.
I remember when it was just him and Jameis on that roster, and people like Taysom is a better quarterback than Jameis. Like,
Listen,
come
the
on,
day,
fam.
yo, nah, listen, NFL fans, do y'all realize we sat through a time where Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill were going through quarterback competition? Do we not? If you're a real football fan, say that sentence out loud and then tell me how far we've came as a football society. Jameis Winston, number 1 overall pick, was competing with Taysom Hill for starting quarterback reps.
Hey, I got a hot Jameis take. We'll get to a little bit later, though. I got
Get to it now.
No, I'll save it. I'll save
Why
it.
you hiding it?
Okay, so later we were going to talk about the Jets. If I'm the Jets, I'm calling New Orleans and talking about Jameis. Holla at me.
That's not a hot take. Listen, to all you dummies out here that keep saying give Kaepernick a try,
No, dog. It's been 7 years.
Kaepernick don't want to play. He got paid to silently not play no more and just be there anytime a team wants to work him out.
That's it.
But just understand that you're not getting a role again in this NFL.
It is a facade. It is the biggest mirage. That boy ain't playing the game. He don't want to play again. Like you said, he got his money to walk away.
And they said just anytime that we need you to work out for media obligations, be there. But just understand that this money is for you to. Kyle says, of course, the Panther fans booed him halfway through the third, referring to Bryce Young. Bears Panthers forever connect by the Young Moore trade, and their fans booing their new teams in the home openers. I don't think the Saints will want to move Winston. I don't think.
Hey, man, if you can catch the Jets desperate enough to give you something really valuable, like imagine if you could talk the Jets into giving you a second round pick for Jameis Winston. Oh yeah, have a good one, Jameis. Have a good one.
Speaking of having good ones, there are a couple of good 2-0 teams.
Yeah,
the 49ers don't look bad. The Cowboys, something like to your boys. I won't get to it. But when I told people the Cowboys are going to be good, they laughed at me. It's okay. They laughed at me. It's okay. 49ers don't look bad. Cowboys don't look bad. Chiefs 1-1. Excuse me, 1-1 now. They don't look bad. Eagles don't look bad. Dolphins don't look bad. Talk to me about a few of the 2-0 teams through 2 weeks. Are there any surprise 2-0 teams?
There are two, but I'll go to the Cowboys. The Cowboys are good. The Cowboys are Super Bowl contenders. The Cowboys have played Daniel Jones and Zach Wilson.
Why don't you go ahead and tell them who?
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Why don't you tell them? Remind the people of what my Super Bowl pick was.
Dallas and Baltimore.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Like, let me see the Cowboys against Miami, and they don't have like a decent opponent for like 2 or 3 weeks. So we're gonna get a little bit more of this. But the two teams that really surprised me is that 2-0. All the Washington racial slurs. I watched that Denver game. Yep. I watched that second half of that Denver game, and let me tell you,
very surprised by that team that came out.
Eric Bieniemy was like, "Hey guys, Ron Rivera's not in charge. I am."
Players. They went out there and said, "Yo, they're intentionally tanking, guys. What are we
doing here? They're trying to figure out a way to get out of Russ's contract next year. What are we doing?" And then the second two say what?
You think so?
Yeah. And they're going to have to eat a lot of dead money, but I feel like Sean Payton's just not going to.
They don't want to eat. They don't, bro. They gave that man over $200 million.
You know what? I mean, if Sean Payton will talk him into eating it. I promise you, Sean Payton's going to be like, you want me? I think Nick Wright said it best. Sean Payton is there to fix the Broncos. Sean Payton is not there to fix Russell Wilson. You telling me if they're this bad that they have a top 5 pick and you can get your hands on Drake May or that second tier quarterbacks because Caleb will be gone at 5. You can get
or Shador.
Let me tell you something. Shador in Denver. I want Shador in Atlanta, but Shador in Denver wouldn't be bad either.
And they're probably looking at it as, listen, the Broncos and Sean Payton are probably looking at it as to your point, listen, y'all brought me here to fix the Broncos. We have someone down the street in Shador and Deion Sanders that could be a pipeline for NFL and college
Yeah.
football for years
So let
to
me ask you a
come.
question. Would you
Bump this
would you
guy.
draft Shador knowing that Dion could be coming for your head coaching job in a year or two?
I don't think Deion Sanders
You don't
is going anywhere.
you don't think he would? You don't think he would? Because the Florida State job isn't available, right? They're top 5
I
in the
think the
country.
only job that Deion would be interested in is Florida State. But other than that, listen. I really believe that with where they're at right now and the movement that they're making right now, I think Dion might just try to build something at Colorado. They're moving to listen. This is why Colorado's moving from the Big 12 to the
Pac-12.
Pac-12 to the Big 12. You're talking about now they're in a conference with more exposure where Dion is he's having opportunity to be in the living rooms of even better recruits than he would have been had he been in the Pac-12. The only two conferences he really has to worry about is the Big 10 and the SEC. You go to Florida State, yeah, you're going to be getting some of the top recruits, but you're still in the ACC, so you still got to go undefeated. You're in the Big 12. We've seen that you can still make it to the playoffs from that conference, and you have an opportunity to recruit really high-level players. Shador gets drafted to the Broncos. Now, what is your incentive to really leave?
You know what's hilarious? I think after the TCU game, and I saw someone tweet this, and I was thinking the same thing. Like Dion was talking to TCU's running back, who's like the stars. Like, the last thing you want to see is Dion talking to your player after a game. And I feel like with the transfer portal, like recruiting will be easier for Dion. So even if he did decide to go to another player,
he's proved it already, and we'll get into it into our next block. But he's proved it already. He is changing the game of recruiting because he has that true NFL, college to NFL pipeline, and he connects it with these players. What about teams that are lucky to be 2-0? Because I got one at the top of my list, and it starts with Philadelphia Eagles.
I had a feeling you're going to go to Philadelphia. You give yours first,
man. What's going on? Is this the Super Bowl hangover that's going on right now?
That's the Super Bowl hangover. I'm glad we're 2-0. Listen, I get it, right? Like the passing offense doesn't look good. Jalen's bailing on the pocket a little early. He doesn't trust his arm. 2-0 is 2-0. Like the Bill Belichick, you get it. That's Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick had.
But when I said it, you looked at me crazy.
I expected more. The rain really added a certain element that I didn't expect. And the thing for Jalen is, right, so here are the defensive coordinators he has to face in the first 3 weeks: Bill Belichick, Brian Flores, and then this week he has to face Todd Bowles in Tampa. Those are real top-notch defensive coordinators. He still has to face Mike Coyne twice. Steve Spagnuolo has to face the Chiefs. And then he still has to face Pete Carroll. Like he's really going to get some real strong defensive minds this year. I'm really intrigued to see how he handles it. Right now, he's getting better. Like he was better week 2 than week 1. Still not really handling zero blitz as well. That's Brian Johnson's job to help him recognize what a zero blitz looks like and get him into a play where he can, get out of that. But I'll say as an Eagles fan, it's really comforting knowing that in our back pocket, we can just run the ball whenever we want. There's nothing you can do. So if Jalen can't throw it, whatever, we'll just run inside zone to DeAndre Swift 12 times in a row, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, y'all not doing that against a lot of teams. Yeah, y'all did that against Minnesota. The Vikings?
And the Vikings are light up front, right? Like Vita Vea, like they're going to face Vita Vea next week on Monday Night Football. I don't think
real dogs.
I don't think you can run inside.
Y'all ain't gonna be doing that shit, is what I'm saying. In Florida, y'all not gonna be.
I'm just saying, like knowing that
y'all let Baker get to 3-0, it's gonna be nasty discourse.
But I mean, the Eagles historically under Nick Sirianni have been able to run the football no matter what. And the showing last Thursday night, they can still do that. Now, granted, they won't do it to the effect that they did it against the Vikings. I mean, on the Vikings against the Bucks. But to know that the running game is still in your back pocket, you still have the zone read, you still have inside zone, you still have your RPOs. Like the passing game, like the traditional passing game, will catch up. But it's nice to know that you're 2-0 and still got a lot of work to do.
So you're saying I shouldn't try to.
You should.
To trade.
You should. 100%.
You're saying I shouldn't try to trade Dallas Goedert.
Yeah, keep Dallas. Keep Dallas. Keep Dallas. Keep AJ. we can tell you could like the second half. You could tell Brian Johnson kind of figured out how to defend that zero blitz, and it was sent Devontae on the post route, and they scored. That's what we need more of, right? Like this is what they're doing. This is how we beat it.
So I want to talk real quick about Dallas Goedert because I have him in a redraft league, and it's a redraft league I want to kind of speak to because it's an important redraft league. It's one of the leagues that I really want to win. Last year I got to the championship game for it's a league where I consistently come in top 4, like bookmark top 4. So for the first time in my time in this league, I am 0-2. I'm with the face of an 0-3 deficit. Now I was talking to you off mic, and week 1 I lost in this league off the walk-off touchdown in New York, and then week 2 I got blown out the water. I just didn't have enough horses. Now I'm looking at this. I am an 0-2 team, but let me just read you my starting lineup before any waiver wires.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson,
Yep.
Miles Sanders, Alexander Madison, Tyreek Hill, T. Higgins, Dallas Goedert, Garrett Wilson, Patriots defense, Harrison
You
Butker.
good. Keep Dallas. Like Dallas will be okay.
So I lose week 1, and I was like, okay, well, this team's this on paper, this team's just way too good to go 0-2, and then I get doors blown off week 2. So now I'm 0-2, and now I'm sitting at the bottom of the waiver wire, and I'm thinking about dropping Dameon Pierce. Listen to this. I'm thinking about dropping Dameon Pierce and picking up Zach Ertz to be my new backup tight end. And then I'm also thinking about picking up Jerome Ford and dropping the Giants defense that I have on my bench. And maybe because I'm going to be 1 or 2 in the waiver wire. So I should either get Zach Moss or Jerome Ford. I like Jerome Ford because I think he's going to have some value. Kyle says, why do you want to back up tight end? My starter, Kyle, is Dallas Goedert, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not a fan.
I promise you, hold on to Dallas. Hold on to Dallas.
Now, if you say hold on to Dallas, and I can cancel this waiver claim for Zach Ertz, and instead,
what is Zach going to give you? Nothing. Zach is like 36.
He's a tight end on a bad offense, which means he's going to get a lot of targets, which he has been. But
hold on to Dallas. Hold on to Dallas. I have Dallas in one league T, in one league 2. I'm not concerned about Dallas at all. That goes back to Brian Johnson because Goddard is open and Jalen is just missing it. Like Dallas, there are 4 or 5 plays a game. Like there's the Patriots game, like he's running up the seam wide open. There's against Minnesota the other night. There are a couple of plays like Dallas is in the flat and Jalen's trying to go for the big play. Like he's trying to hit AJ, he's trying to hit Devontae on the big plays. Like if Jalen just calms down and just takes what the defense gives him, Dallas is going to eat because Dallas has been open consistently, like in the flat, running curls. Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: with the struggles that's going on in Cincinnati,
I wouldn't worry about Cincy either. I'm not worried about.
Do you start T. Higgins and Puka Nacua, or if I do end up landing Jerome Baker off of the waivers, which I think I will, do I move Robert Mostert to flex, Puka to the bench, and put Jerome Baker in?
I put Puka in. I got Puka in another league of mine, and he won the league. He won the game. Like I've dominated that league. I would try to play Puka if I could.
Take out
because who else is like?
So you think I run the wide receiver 1 Tyreek Hill, wide receiver 2 T. Higgins, flex Puka Nacua
over Garrett Wilson? Yeah, yes, I would.
So then my running backs are Miles Sanders, Robert Mostert, and then probably Jerome Baker tomorrow off of waivers.
Jerome Baker's in Cleveland, right?
He was the backup to Nick Chubb.
Yeah, but Kareem Hunt's there. Like Kareem Hunt visited.
They're still going to ride the hot hand though.
I would say if they don't sign Kareem, I would start Jerome. If Kareem does show up, I would start
I
Jerome this
still
week, and
think
then next week.
Kareem being in the building isn't. I don't think it's going to affect anything at least for another 2 to 3 weeks. And
Yeah, that's what I'm
even
saying. Like start
in that, I
Jerome.
still think Jerome Baker, if he continues to do what he did yesterday, he should continue to get majority of the touches.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I would start Puka over Garrett Wilson right now.
Oh, I am Garrett Wilson. I don't know. When the next time I might start Garrett bye week.
You'll start him when Jameis there.
He's got to get there. Yo, I'm about to drop Damian Pierce and maybe pick up Zach Moss, Justice Hill. I can't trust Damian Pierce, bruh. That is a. You just can't trust him right now.
Yeah. So Kyle added a good note. Kyle said if you play Higgins, make sure to put him in the flex. That way, if Burrow is out Monday night, you can have flexibility with who to replace him with. That is a
great point. I'll do that.
That sounds like
I'll do that.
That sounds like a man who's in 22 fantasy leagues. That's genius.
I'll do that.
But yeah, like I'm gonna try to trade Keenan Allen for Jamar Chase in our Superflex league. Like if he's serious, because Keenan Allen, this is the game, and then the next 4 games, nothing, and
Wait,
then he'll hurt his ankle.
You're trying to trade someone for?
Remember, in our Superflex league, that dude put AJ Brown and Jamar Chase on the trading block and was like, only serious offers. Yeah, I'll take Jamar Chase off your hands.
Yeah, what do you think's going on with Cincy and this Joe Burrow calf? Talk to me about that.
I think it's more serious than they're letting us think it is.
Why do you say that?
When something about the word tweak to me that always they're like, oh, we'll say tweak and it'll take the sting out. No. As a man who has tweaked many things in his life, it hurts.
But it's a calf, though.
So for me, I'd rather hear banged up than tweak. Like tweak is a step away from sprain, strain. Banged up is like, oh, a stinger, they'll be okay, right? It's banged up.
Strain, bang.
Strain. I'm just saying, like when you hear reporters, like when someone's like, oh, he was banged up on the play, like, oh, okay. But it's like, oh no, so-and-so tweaked this, that's bad. Because after tweaking, it's sprain and tears. Like for me, like when I hear tweak, I get real nervous.
So you think Joe Burrow is at risk right now to be playing?
I think so. Like when I hear tweak, I'm like, oh, you're close to a real serious injury. When I hear banged up, it's like, okay, maybe a week tops.
Well, this always goes back to me because you remember during training camp when Jamar Chase told him he should sit out until what was that, week 6?
He was like week 4, week 5, week 6, one of those numbers, and everyone laughed at him. See, Jamar in there every day. Now that we've talked about, I'm gonna trade for AJ Brown and not Jamar Chase.
Maybe that's not a bad one. You might get away with it.
I'm gonna offer Keenan Allen for AJ Brown today.
So I just got the notification from ESPN that there was a Patriots fan who was fatally injured at Gillette Stadium.
Yeah, I saw that. He got punched in the side of the head and he died. It was an old man.
What?
Yeah.
Why was he attacked?
I think a Dolphins fan punched him in the side of the head and he died. Dog. Y'all are wilding at these games.
What are y'all doing?
What are y'all doing
at football games? Is this that serious?
No.
This kind of.
I've always said this, dog. People get in fights at football games like the team is going to bail them out of prison for fighting for their honor.
No, they're going to look at you stupid.
Robert Kraft does not give a damn that you fighting at Gillette. He's not going to bail you out of jail.
Not at all.
Matter of fact, he's going to call the police and say, throw him in jail. Thank you.
He is going to pay to see that you are held to the highest extent of the law, you criminals.
Fighting it. Did you see the one at the Commanders game week 1?
That brother got jab.
All he heard was
Look, sometimes all it takes for some of you brokies is a little act right. Now I will say that I'm not a perpetuator of violence, but sometimes a little ass whooping.
Sometimes you need to get your ass whooped. Hey dog. Nothing get you fixed right to getting your ass up in front of your girl.
Outside of Cincinnati, what other surprising 0-2 teams?
0-2. I tried to tell y'all during our preview that the Chargers are suspect, and y'all told me I was tripping. What'd I say? The last time we saw the Chargers, they blew a 20-plus point lead in the playoffs in Jacksonville. Oh no, Justin Herbert, that dude, Brandon, it'll be just fine. Where we at? Where we at? We 0-2. And they only lose in the most Charger way possible.
I wanna say something that when I found out, I'm gonna be honest, I'm still in disbelief. Ladies and gentlemen, I thought Brandon Staley, I thought his previous background was offensive coordinator. I recently found out that this guy's background is on the defensive side of the football. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to let you know I've been in fucking disbelief since the moment someone confirmed it and told it to me, because I have not understood how this guy in year 2 or 3 still has a job. Still has a job, because this is consistently bad. Almost bad to the point where I wonder why you invest as much money that you have into that side of the ball if y'all are going to consistently play that undisciplined.
What did I tell you? I told you. We all out here. Cal, Justin Herbert is that dude. Like, I'm not here to say Justin Herbert is not top 7 in
And
the
you
league.
better not, or I'm going to come see about it.
I mean, he my fan. I drafted him in a couple leagues. Like, I understand.
And I'm in our redraft league. I saw you.
But all I know is every time I see the Chargers, they creating a new way to lose. Football been around 80, 100 years, and the Chargers still finding new ways to lose.
Better, more creative way of losing. Chargers or Falcons?
The Chargers find more creative ways to lose. The Falcons just break your heart. Like the Falcons, like the Chargers will lose on a false start. The Falcons will lose getting walked by Tom Brady 28-3. Like, you know what's about to happen. You just can't stop it. And that just breaks my heart. My best friend is a Falcons fan. Did I tell you about that story? We were at a bar watching that Super Bowl, and he was real confident. He's like, yeah, we got this. We was drinking beer. And then all of a sudden, the Patriots fans start getting louder. We look up, and I was like, oh, we might need to leave, brother, because if they win this, you've been talking a whole lot of shit the past 3 hours. It might be time to pack this up.
Now, I'm going to say, and Kyle just brought this up in his most recent message, blowing a fourth quarter lead to any team is not good. Blowing a fourth quarter lead to the Falcons is astonishing, especially when you look back on it and when you look at the box score, you'd be confused at how a team like that even lost the game until you realize during the second half, the Packers were essentially playing piss away football. What is piss away football, Los G Mix? It's when you just decide to piss this game down your leg by playing too conservative. Up 12 with less than 16, 17, 15, 16, 17 minutes left, and we still lose?
I can't front. The Jordan Love QB sneak was hilarious. That was funny. But he looks good though. Like Jordan Love, all in all,
looks like a good quarterback. Good. Looks like a quarterback that Green Bay was seeing in practice and said, "Hey, we think he'd be all right."
Yeah, get out of here, old man.
Man.
Where Brock Lesnar tell Hulk Hogan, "Night, night, Grandpa. Party's over, Grandpa."
What did the fish tell the old fish in SpongeBob? How many times we gotta teach you this lesson, old man?
Yeah, that's the one.
How many times do I gotta teach you this lesson, old man?
But who on here said the Falcons were going to be good this year? Who said that if they drafted Bijan, said, okay, we're just going to have an explosive offense? Who said that? It was I, the prophet.
You feel good about yourself?
I do. I told you Falcons going to win the NFC South. As long as Desmond Ridder doesn't mess it up.
It's early in the season, but two teams have 3 undefeated 2-0 teams. The NFC East.
Yes, sir.
And the NFC South.
Falcons, man.
Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and Atlanta are 2-0.
That's about to change Monday night. Tampa gonna be 2-1.
Funny enough, I might have the Bucks winning because they're in Tampa.
I The only thing that scares me about the Bucks
That
is that
heat, boy.
only thing that scares me about the Bucks is their defense swarms,
Exactly.
and I'm afraid like Vita Vea
Y'all
in that
pass
playoff.
offense is, I mean, y'all passing defense is bad.
I'm not worried about that. I feel like the Eagles' defensive line can get pressure on Baker.
They're gonna be able to hold up, especially in
I
that
don't.
heat. Them big boys gonna be tired.
I mean, them boys played in Georgia.
Okay, what that mean? They live in Philly now. They
Dog,
used to that Philly special.
dog. Jordan and Jalen. Oh, buddy.
Why do you think somebody listen? The Eagles don't even look like they scary no more. Ain't nobody looking at y'all like y'all scary.
It's only week 2. All right, you're right. We got a long way to
They
go.
looking at y'all like y'all sweet. They looking at Dallas like them boys. They
Okay.
saying Eagles
How many?
fly skirt.
All right. Cool.
A lot of the streets saying Dallas gonna mop y'all when y'all play too. But
Love it. I hope so. They them
when that
boys.
first Eagles Dallas game?
Late October.
Late October. That's kind of corny.
That's always like that.
Why y'all? I don't like that
It's
they
like
got y'all
October and then December. It's always like that. The first game is always in Philly, and then the next game is always in Dallas. And it's always a primetime game. One of the two is the Sunday night game. Last year the Sunday night game was Philly, so this year the Sunday night game is going to be the Dallas game.
Yeah, y'all play November 5th and then December 10th.
Yeah, so it's usually like that.
First one's in Philly, second one's in Dallas.
And the Dallas one is the Sunday
First one's a 125 kickoff though.
Oh, so that's Fox.
Yeah, the second one's a 5:20.
That's 8:20. Yeah, so that's Sunday night football. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, man, I'll say this about Dallas, and no team has done this yet. The Giants fell too far behind, and the Jets don't have the horses. Run the ball at Micah.
Y'all got a tough stretch because the Bucks, the Commanders, they ain't gonna be
the Dolphins, right?
Parts. And y'all got the Rams, Jets, Dolphins. Oh man, that's gonna be a tough stretch. I can see y'all losing to both the. Y'all got to fly to LA, then to New York.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of LA. Not afraid of.
I think y'all are gonna lose one or two of those games, and then versus the Dolphins.
That game scares me. The Dolphins. That game. That game scares me. Like that Dolphins game is going to be, and that's the Kelly Green jersey. That game is going to be spooky.
Okay, first off, the NFL is evil to the Giants because they play y'all 2 out of the last 3 weeks.
Always. It's always like that. Like we always play the Giants like twice in December every year.
So they basically broke y'all schedule up in Commanders first, then Dallas, and then
the Giants every time. That's how it's been for like the past 6 years, I feel like.
That's why y'all weak ass schedule.
Yeah, right. It's Dallas by Kansas City, Buffalo.
Well, y'all
Dallas.
sweet anyway, so y'all it's not like y'all gonna make it through. Y'all sweet anyway.
All right. At least I know my QB can run a sneak.
That's hate. Listen, you brought up the New York Jets, who your team plays in a few weeks. Where do you think they go from here, man?
I said it earlier. Call New Orleans and see. Look, Jameis is real volatile, but I know Jameis can get the ball down the field.
Jameis, you gonna keep your ass in New Orleans, Zach Wilson?
You cannot go. If
that's
hate. If they don't do anything in the next 2 weeks, that's the season. Like you cannot keep going, Zach Wilson.
I want to talk about another New York football player.
Yep.
What the hell type of drugs they give Saquon Barkley to go from yelling on the bench to potentially playing on Thursday?
I don't know what it is, but keep away from me. I don't need that in my body.
That's that dog food. That's that heron.
Don't play Saquon this week in fantasy. Sit that man.
Please, bro. They had to be giving him horse tranquilizer because there's just no way.
His heart running 1,000 miles a minute.
Exactly. All right, let's shift over a little bit to college football because it's been spicy up in college football. We got a few.
Let's do it.
Listen, we're gonna start with the AP poll rankings. So let me read you a top 3 that I don't know if you're ready for when we were covering some of the preseason polls. Georgia, Michigan, and the University of Texas.
Crazy.
Then we have Florida State and Southern Cal, who round out the top 5. Then we got The Ohio State, Penn State, Washington, Notre Dame, and Oregon, who round out the top 10. And then some other notables. Alabama's at 13. LSU's at 12. North Carolina's at 17. Duke football is at 18. My second alma mater, the Colorado Buffaloes, are at 19. Tennessee, after the loss to Florida, is down 12 spots at 23. And Florida, after the big win versus Tennessee, is now 25. My brother, any surprising standouts so far after a few weeks of college football?
If there was ever a year for a non-SEC school to win the national championship, it's this year. Georgia has won, but I watched that Georgia-South Carolina game.
They don't
Georgia
look
looks
like
right. Yeah, they don't look
they
like
look
Georgia.
vulnerable. They look beatable.
Yes, they do. Yet, man.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I'm just shocked by Texas. Like Texas has been back for 15 years, but they back.
I'm gonna take my glasses off when I say it. Listen, as a silent but vocal Alabama Crimson Tide football fan, behind my Virginia Tech fandom, of course, because go Hokies, I want to let everyone know that this loss to Texas early for our franchise is one that, or for our program, is one that, while the committee should take into consideration, it is a learning experience for our team. We got a really young team. We're still trying to figure out our quarterback. Is it Jalen Milroe? Is it this white boy, Tyler Boschner, whatever his name is? I'm going with the brother because I want to see brothers win. Fuck this white kid. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Jesus. I want to see this brother win. Now I'm playing. I hope that brother has a good life. But I do think Jalen Milroe is the better quarterback. I think he fits the scheme better with his ability to both run and pass. Now, the greatest quarterback, the greatest coach of all time when it comes to college football, Nick Saban, he's just got to look at this team and look at where are the weaknesses, where are the strengths, and how can we build upon it. This is a team that I think that will be playing in December, and I think this is a team that will be playing in January too. Florida, we're not afraid of you. Tennessee, we're not afraid of you. Georgia, we're not afraid of you. A&M, we're not afraid of you. Auburn, we're not afraid of you. In Texas, when we see y'all again, we're going to beat that ass.
Oh, you won't
Roll Tide
until next year.
Roll Tide.
Straight to the Citrus Bowl.
That's hate. And shout out to my Hokies. Listen,
tough year.
Yo, you hear about SMU? They were able to acquire $100 million in for the program funding to help transition into the ACC.
SMU back, baby. The Pony Express was 30 years early. SMU is back. ACC messed up.
I tried to tell my fellow college friends who are good tech, who are also Tech alumni, and I was like, guys, SMU is going to win the ACC before 2030.
Yes.
Guaranteed.
Yo, the NIL, SMU is doing the NIL back with Eric Dickerson in the 70s and 80s. SMU back, baby. That oil money, can't none of them ACC schools touch that oil money.
I think in general, between recruiting in Texas, being able to now recruit in states like Virginia and Florida and California with reason, because they go and they play these schools, they're probably in their states. SMU is going to be a top 25 program consistently. Give it 5 years.
Yep, like it was okay letting Stanford in, right? Stanford is just UVA of the West Coast. Like, yeah, your school's too smart for most players to get in, so you're just going to be some mid, whatever. But SMU?
Listen, Virginia Tech, we had our run, baby. It's okay. We struggle to recruit in Virginia. I don't know where the hell we're going to recruit from. The Michael Vick days are all but done.
Southern Methodist University.
All right, Taylor not walking through those doors. Gerard Evans ain't walking through those doors. Michael Vick ain't running through those
Virginia
doors.
Tech going to join the Sun Belt. Go beat up on ODU and JMU.
And let's just go join the SWAC. Listen, you probably, speaking of the SWAC, you probably heard by now, but my former alma mater, the Colorado Buffaloes, and Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders and Shiloh Sanders and Travis Hunter, the Buffs are 3-0, and they're the talk of the town around college football. Danny, what do you think of the 3-0 start and the buzz and excitement that's going around Colorado right now?
Colorado has not seen that many black people since Cordell Stewart was there in the '90s. But I
Colorado ain't seen this many black folks since J.R. Smith was bringing them things around in Denver.
but he was in Denver. We're talking about Boulder. Boulder ain't you go to Boulder to get away from the black folks in Denver.
Oh Lord. See what I'd say about you and your anti-black statements. I thought we got that out of here in the last
I'm
episode.
just saying they
Lord, we
woke.
got them.
Yo, them people in Boulder woke up Saturday morning and heard a Lil Wayne concert and called the police immediately. But
they weren't ready for that type of urban tree.
Hell no. They saw Offset on the sideline. The only person that eased the pain was The Rock. They saw The Rock like, oh, okay, we're safe.
They were like, oh, okay, he here, he gonna protect us.
We're good. It's fun.
They were probably looking around like, oh man, I know it's legal here, but they have to walk in smelling like it.
Yeah, right. They looked at the sideline and their kids like, oh, that's Offset. That's Lil Wayne. And they're like,
hey, Mr. Set.
Yeah,
man. Hey, Mr. Set. Can we get a picture?
Who else is on the sideline?
Kyle, SMU stands for Southern Methodist University. It's in Texas. They got money and they religious, so they got more money.
They got more money. They got
listen, Shedeur Sanders. I think he early favorite to win the Heisman. I think Dion and what they're doing down in Boulder is remarkable. I do think this weekend versus Oregon is going to be a tough challenge. So I do see them taking the first L of the season. But even Dion had mentioned they're 6, 7, 8 player. They're 6, 7, 8 dogs away from really contending. So
I'll say this: I think they're going to lose to Oregon, but let it be close. Like let it be 28-31. Let it be a one possession game. Same with USC because USC has to travel to Boulder. So this week it's in Eugene. And then next week, USC is coming to Colorado.
That's the BET Awards.
Yeah, let it be close. Oh, Mark Jones said that on the broadcast. I was like, come on, dog.
Yeah.
Not in front of company. Come on,
y'all
man.
got to stop hating on Mark Jones. Mark Jones is a man in the culture.
No, you don't say that in front of company. You don't say that on national television.
That's hate. Listen, is this Pac-12 class the best class of QBs that you've seen in college football in a while?
Crazy because the Pac-12 is dissolving, but yes. You got Shedeur, you got Caleb. I'm not a Bo Nix guy. I think Bo Nix is just Zach Wilson with big shoulders.
You got Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah, in Washington. Then you get the kid at Washington State. I watched them play last week. He can play. Like, it's crazy that there's all this depth in the Pac-12 and they're just dissolving it for no reason, for money.
Nah, because they ain't got enough money to pay out these programs. So
I know. These TV deals ain't enough.
What if we found out that one of these days the Pac-12 was like, oh y'all thinking about leaving? Ha ha ha. All right, go ahead and leave. And they was like, oh, word, bet.
You know how I feel real bad for? I feel real bad for Rutgers because Rutgers football is good this year. And then next year, you gotta play USC.
Don't nobody want to watch no damn Rutgers, man.
I've watched Rutgers.
Fuck Rutgers, a little bit. That bullshit ass game.
Okay.
All right. Few quick hitters. Listen, while we were gone, the NBA passed a rule cracking down on load management pause. They're essentially saying you can't even rest 2 star players
for primetime games.
Games. Danny, what are your thoughts?
It's called the Kawhi Leonard rule because that's who this is aimed at.
Wrong.
So the rule in detail is
the Greg Popovich rule.
I mean, Greg is the genesis.
Remember you sending Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and them home on Southwest Airlines. We ain't forgot.
We did not.
It was in line eating Chick-fil-A.
And I think what defines a star is someone who has been an all-star or all-NBA the past 2 years. I think it's either 2 or 3 years. If you got any of those honors, you're considered a star player. So, I mean, yeah. I know Greg Popovich is the seed, but Kawhi Leonard is the tree. And this is the Kawhi Leonard rule.
Because that's not what happened. He was hurt for real.
We all know the clip. We know what the Clippers are doing. We know what the Clippers are doing.
I'm starting to see some of your consistent hate, and you've been.
I like Kawhi Leonard. I like when Kawhi Leonard plays basketball.
Consistent hate off the last couple weeks. Everything
I've been watching Undisputed.
Yo, you know what I've been watching a lot of? Not even going to try to hold you. A lot of Shark Tank.
Okay, I mean Mark Cuban's a great personality.
I don't necessarily watch for him. I kind of watch for Lori, but um,
Dog.
that's hate. That's hate.
I mean, I don't watch Shark Tank. Let me see.
That's hate.
Okay, yeah, okay. I can see it.
She got a little. Listen, she's a great entrepreneur.
Yeah,
CEO. She made. She's you know.
milk
I mean, yes, but
milk builds strong bones.
okay. Yeah, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something.
Okay.
This is more. This is not really sports related. This is more life related. If I was thinking about renting a spot out, right,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to rent out my spot, but leave most of the furniture in here and move into a spot to rent, but wanted to like lease furniture in there. Is there places where you could like furnish a room but lease the furniture?
Yeah, you can go to like a rent-a-center, but that's a rip-off. Do you want me to explain?
Yeah.
Okay, so places like Rent-A-Center, places where you can rent furniture, TVs, and stuff, they say, "Oh, we'll charge you $35 a week to rent this sofa for for 2 years." Well, by the time you've paid $52 for 2 years, you've doubled the price that you would have paid for the sofa if you would have just bought it cash out front. Like that's how. Same with like these title lending places. Give us a title of your car, we'll give you a loan. The loan has 120% interest rate. So by the time you pay that loan back, you borrowed $1,000, but you've paid back $3,000.
Hmm.
That's how these rented. Like that's how. Oh yeah, so you see a Rent-A-Center ads like, oh yeah, rent this sofa for $50 a week, but in the fine print's like, yeah, it's for 2 years, so $50 a week.
So you're saying if I was going to rent out a spot but wanted to leave the furniture in here, then I would have to be comfortable with buying completely new furniture.
Yes, I would say that'll be it'll hurt the most in the beginning, but fiscally down the road. Let's see. So 52 times 204 times 50. So yeah, $5,200 for a sofa that probably cost $2,500, $3,000.
Yeah. Man, you think everything in this country is a scam?
Yes, everything in this country. That's what happens when you build the foundation of this country on the back of capitalism. Everything is for $1. So yes,
Mhm.
in some point or another, everything's a scam.
You know, it's not a scam, not all the time.
What's that?
Fantasy football. Am I right?
Hey, we here.
Let's dive into it a little bit before we get out of here. Listen, let's start. You want to start in our redraft league, just because this week was the first week of the weekly commissioners report
Yes.
in this redraft league. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a 10-team redraft league that Danny and myself are in.
Yep.
I do commission this league. This is part of my all money in fantasy league series. I commission a fantasy. I mean, what the fuck is my dog doing? Okay, I commission a redraft, a dynasty, and a super flex league. We're going to start off talking about the redraft league. So,
Yes.
Danny, how do you feel about your team? You're down
0-2.
there. You're 0-2. As I look at as I look at the weekly report, Danny, after 2 weeks, you are second in the league in scoring, but you have the worst defense. You're 0-2.
Crazy. Again, I built my team off Nick Chubb and Saquon Barkley, and they're both hurt. So I'm kind of scrambling right now. Got DeAndre Swift, but DeAndre Swift week to week is not going to do what he did against Minnesota. So I am on the hunt for some running back depth. I have some good receivers that I'm willing and open to trade. Been talking to a few people. DJ Moore is on the trade block. JSN is on the trade block. Drake London is on the trade block. Trying to find some sort of running back depth. I might even throw Dalton Kincaid in there because I have Dallas Goedert in this league. I'm going to hold on to Dallas. Like Dallas will be fine. But yeah, like I'm kind of scrambling from some running back depth right now.
Man, it's tough.
Yeah, right now my starting running backs are DeAndre Swift and Samaje Perine, and that is it.
Woo!
We in the gutter. We in the gutter.
My brother, I hope you pay attention to the punishment for last place because you might be fighting for it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Jerome in the waiver wire. I don't think I'm going to get him. So yeah, I'm going to try to wheel and deal
I put out the you're ninth. No, you're seventh
Yeah,
in
I
the
ain't get.
standings. So it is
I ain't getting none.
you're not getting them, brother. You're at an unfortunate situation, but don't worry. I'm not getting them either. I'm far from it too. So in this league, I am actually 2-0. Um, you know, I got mostly led by Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, who I was able to stack. I've been getting some decent performances from Jordan Addison. Aaron Jones a little nicked up, and but I've been able to lean on James Conner, David Montgomery before the injury. So we'll see. Wide receivers are Stephon Diggs, Jordan Addison, and T Higgins. Waiting on T Higgins to catch up, but
Yeah.
I think this team's going to be fine. I'm mostly hoping for Aaron Jones' health because I just have a lot of Aaron Jones stock throughout a lot of leagues. But right now, I'm second in the standings. In terms of scoring, I think I have the fourth most points. Yeah, fourth most points. So a lot of ball game left. Uh, yeah, a lot of ball game left. I think the point total between me and first place is only 7.1 points.
So
So
while
still with
while we're here, I was thinking about this trade earlier. I'll bring it to the group. So in this league, Jordan has McCaffrey, Madison, but he has Ramondre on the bench. So I was thinking about, can I make a play for Ramondre? And I was thinking, what if I offered DJ Moore and I don't know what else to offer?
who are his receivers? His receivers are weak.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So his receivers, hold on, just his receivers are Amon Ra and Chris Olave. And then he has Puka. He has Amari Cooper, Christian Kirk, Jerry Judy, Gabe Davis. What he needs is a tight end because he has Njoku. So what if I offered him DJ Moore and Dalton Kincaid for Ramon Stevenson? Do you think he would take that?
Uh I'd say send it. You never know.
Let's take it to the. I'm gonna share my screen. Let's take it to the.
It's not terrible.
Okay, well, let me share my screen. Oh yeah, well here we go.
Here
Can
we go,
can
ladies and gentlemen.
can the people see it?
Oh yeah.
All right, so here we go. So I'm gonna give Dalton Kincaid, DJ Moore. This is right. This is a redraft. Yep, one QB for Ramondre Stevenson. Survey says, oh, I'm overpaying by a little bit.
Not much.
Yeah, not much. Okay, I'm gonna send it.
Not much. You'd have to be okay with maybe overpaying a little bit, but getting
I
something that's
mean, I need a running back.
yeah. That's how I feel about in Dynasty trying to get Travis Etienne. I feel like I want to try to get a deal done, and we'll see. But
Let me ask
also,
you
if
a
I have to
question.
stick with if I got to stick with Najee Harris and James Conner and
Let me ask you this then.
yeah,
What if I offer Drake London instead of DJ Moore?
now I think you're overpaying too much.
No, I'm saying Drake London and Dalton Cade for Ramondre instead of DJ Moore. Because I want to keep DJ Moore.
Say that one more time.
So I would offer Drake London and Dalton Kincaid for Ramondre Stevenson.
I mean, that's not terrible. I'm not upset with it.
Let's see what he says.
Sort of like my Rojo trade for Travis Etienne. You just kind of gotta hope. You just kind of gotta hope. It's funny that you're trying to trade for Ramondre Stevenson. And I'm trying to trade him away in two separate leagues.
I mean, he hasn't done well, but I mean, he gets the touches and he's healthy.
The volume is there.
Yeah,
I can't believe I'm 0-2 in that league, but I can believe I'm 0-2 in that league. In a
like
couple,
I can live if DeAndre Swift and Ramondre Stevenson on my backs until Saquon gets healthy.
They wouldn't be a bad backup. How many? What are your records looking like across a few leagues?
So the redraft league is like the only league where I'm doing bad in. I'm 1-1 in dynasty, undefeated in an old work league, undefeated in my boys charity league that we do. I'm dominating. After week 1, I messaged the whole group. I was like, y'all can either you can quit now, or I can just beat y'all ass all year. Oh,
Oh,
it's only it's only week 1. All right,
that's how
y'all can get smoked all year.
that's how you feeling in this league.
Dog, do you want to hear the lineup in this league?
I feel like you've shared this lineup with me
Yeah,
before.
this is the line. This is the league where I got Justin Jefferson and AJ Brown.
Yeah.
I was like, "Are you guys sure?"
I don't know what they just didn't know. Lord forgive them.
No. So this is a every time we do this league, everyone runs to a quarterback first. Like everyone runs to Patrick and Josh and Jalen.
Is it what type of league? 2 quarterback league?
No, it's a one. It's a one QB league, but it's 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a flex, a linebacker, a defensive lineman, a DB, a defensive player, a defense, and a kicker. So everyone's out here.
Wait a minute. Your commissioner just said, "Fuck it. Why not
Everything.
just have every type of position?"
Well, he wants high scoring games. He wants games in the 200-300s. So yeah. So all they spend the first 2 rounds drafting quarterbacks. Well, I had the first pick this year, so I got Jetta. But yeah, like AJ Brown fell to me. So then I did AJ and Justin Herbert. I got Tony Pollard, Aaron Jones. Like I don't know what the hell they were doing. We were done to draft. I was like, y'all for real?
That's kind of like my Superflex Dynasty League that I joined this year, where they left Patrick Mahomes there at 3, and I was like, "Are y'all kidding me?" So
wow.
I ended up. I mean, my starting lineup is something serious, and my Superflex quarterback is Tua, and I was still able to get Tyreek Hill. So
That's crazy. Yeah, man.
you know, it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
What?
What happened?
The Mystics have taken the lead. I'm watching the score online.
Oh,
Okay, New York is
on a 7-0 run in the last 220. Ladies and gentlemen, let's tap in a little bit in the background.
Yeah, the Liberty have taken a 1-point lead. This is crazy.
Let's tap in a little bit in the background. Danny, as we look to finish up the show.
Yep.
Listen, in NBA news, the league is passing new rule. Oh, we already talked about the load management rules. We already talked about fantasy. Excuse me. This is what I wanted to talk about. And since we're talking about basketball, listen, the U.S. men's basketball team failed to come home with a medal from the FIBA World Cup. How are we feeling?
Steve Kerr's plan worked to perfection.
I want to go back to our fantasy talk. Kyle, as we talk about our dynasty league, if you can't see what I'm trying to do with my fantasy team, I don't know. A lot of people tried to clown me for some of the recent trades that I've been making, thinking I'm intentionally tanking. I'm not. I'm embracing youth and trying to get a new offensive structure into my team, because the structure that I had, while it was centered around Tyreek and Lamar, in the long term, I wanted to invest in a little bit more youth. I still think my team is good enough to make it to the playoffs and be competitive. I got to just be a little bit smarter with the lineups. Maybe it's a low ceiling team on a week to week basis, but I still think the ceiling is there enough to get to the playoffs and still keep Bam's first round pick for maybe a top 5 draft pick next year, which is what I'm hoping for.
I'm in the gutter in that league, the absolute gutter.
I listen, this fantasy, Danny, what do you think of me and Kyle's trade last week for Trevor Lawrence?
What was the trade again? Let me go back to the chat. Hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Liberty are up 74-71 with 40 seconds left.
I'm assuming Sabrina hit a 3 then.
Somebody just did.
Or Stewie. I have a feeling Sabrina's been playing lights out.
It was
Stewie. The closer. Where's the trade? Here are the waiver wires. Dang, where'd it go? There it
Uh,
is. Here it is. So you got Trevor Lawrence in Rojo's second round, and you gave Kyle Rojo's first round in the third round. I like it.
I like it too. Listen, that's why I'm trying to listen. I was going to try to get Calvin Ridley from Greg, but I already knew it would have been too
Dog, I've
big.
been trying to get Calvin Ridley for 8 months, and he
And I'm
keep playing with me.
Yeah, he wants to win the trade visually, so no one clowns him. I'm good on that. So that's why I decided to target Travis Etienne instead and try to get that stack. And I'm trying to see what maybe Akili will want from it. I think Akili he has enough depth where maybe losing Travis Etienne doesn't hurt. A lot of people. Another reason why I started doing some trades because I started thinking about it after hearing the reports in camp about Derrick Henry and Tajay Spears, that's when I started looking at my team and saying, some of these guys, I'd rather be a year early than a year late.
You know who says that? Howie Roseman.
And the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
So after week one, after seeing Tajay Spears and Derrick Henry, we got a tie game, 74 all.
Let's go.
After seeing Tajay Spears and Derrick Henry time split week one, I knew, wow, it may sting this year if Derrick Henry goes off. Tajay Spears is the back of their future.
All I know is my whole team is hurt or IR. I can't
Tank
even.
Bigsby, if I can get Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby, then I have my starting running back and his backup, so I'm good there. I am roster building in a way that I don't think a lot of. I'm trying to encourage trading while also actively trading my way into being competitive, yet having the team layout that I think is warranted. We're trying to make moves over here at the Las Vegas Horn Ducks franchise.
I got nothing to trade because everybody on IR or hurt.
I'm
Weird.
trying to trade some of the few assets that I have, but we'll see. I would trade more assets to get Travis Etienne. If not, I'm going to I might stay content with the team that I have, ride the waiver wire and see, if I can be competitive. And listen, if this is one of the few teams in my in my fantasy portfolio that doesn't make the playoffs, then we'll go for the number one overall pick. Uh, or I don't need to go for the number one overall pick because I know that'll be for Rojo. So then I'll try to win games.
I think someone just hit a big shot behind you. Was that Sabrina?
Yeah.
Your girl?
Natasha Cloud, what you got? Oh,
You know what's crazy? So in
talk
the
to me.
in the WNBA playoffs, it's only three. It's
Talk to me.
three.
Talk to me about the WNBA playoffs.
So and I'm gonna keep this quick. So the first round, best out of three.
Right.
The higher seed gets the first two home games. So if you lose one of those home games, you face elimination on the road, right? Connecticut split with Minnesota. So Minnesota has the elimination game at home. If Washington wins, New York has to travel to DC facing elimination, which is insane to me, which is crazy to me that the higher seed has to travel for elimination. Like the
Well then,
Aces,
but you have the benefit of having the first two games at home though.
right. So if you like the Aces swept, they're resting right now. And if Dallas wins tonight,
I'm for that though. That's
I
what
just
it's
think
for.
I think it's insane that
No, that's what it's for.
as the higher seed, I have to go on the road and face
Yeah.
elimination.
Because if you want to win, then go win.
That's crazy.
Kyle, if you can talk to Akili about maybe this Travis Etienne trade and what it may take, holla.
How that like the only thing I have to trade is Mike Evans and Devontae Smith. No one wants Mike Evans.
You got any running backs?
Dog, everyone hurt. Jamal Williams hurt. Rashad Penny ass. Cam Akers being traded. Zach Charbonnet, he don't get no run. Acha, no run.
Speaking of which, let me look at Kyle. Maybe Kyle got a running back. Maybe we can talk real quick
I
about
got
it.
plenty running backs. I got plenty.
I just asked you if you had running backs. You said no.
I have plenty. No, I mean, if you are you looking for depth?
Brother, I'm looking for a starting running back.
Come talk to me if you see something you like.
Kyle, Kyron Williams.
Okay.
What type of draft package are we talking here? Ramondre Stevenson and maybe a third?
Oh, whoa. We talk about Ramondre. Come over, talk to me.
Or maybe Ramondre Stevenson talk to me. Danny, oh, that's Gator J. Wrong team. David Montgomery would have been an attractive offer. Oh, you're right. All your running backs are hurt.
Everyone, dog. But you can buy low. Oh wow. I'm
I
sorry.
don't
I'm
know.
captivated by this Mystics game.
I don't even know who I'm buying low for here.
I mean, you got Zach. You got. I'm just waiting for Cam to end up in Cleveland. Then we back. But yeah, everyone. We're not doing good over here.
Kyle, what if? All right, Kyle. Kyron Williams. Listen.
Yes. If you turn around, your girl choking in front of God in America.
Yo, can you relax? Kyle, what type of draft picks could attract a Kyron Williams? What type of draft picks? Talk to me about draft picks. What type of draft picks? I'm curious.
What would it take for you to take something off my hands? I'll take a third round pick.
Danny, I don't know. Listen, Danny, okay. This is what I have. When I look at your roster.
Kyle said he's gonna think it over and send
All
you an
right.
offer.
Danny, I'll give you a third round pick for Mike Evans.
Go to hell. Kiss my ass, dog. I almost called you the N word.
I don't, dog. I'm looking at your roster. I don't even know remote. You are a hurt team. You're right.
Everyone's hurt. Like
You're
I'm gonna
right.
have to start. I'm
Now
gonna
I
have to
know.
start.
Now I understand what you're saying when you said you're in hell. This is hell.
Like I'm gonna have to start John Mechie. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, I'm looking at your team. I understand what you're saying. I'm looking at my team, and I'm like, yo, y'all aren't bad. Y'all just aren't
young.
good. Yeah, y'all are young.
I have to start John Mechie this week. And Hunter Renfro. What the fuck, man?
All right, listen. I think we got through most of our docket. Danny, you know it's always a great time to be back with you, back with Kyle. We're in the midst of football season, so expect a lot of trade, a lot of fantasy, a lot of NFL talk. As y'all can hear from the background, it is WNBA playoff season. The NBA is coming up soon, so don't you miss it. You guys
start 9 days.
Yep. You guys could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with us. You are here with the bro, with the fro, and the smoothest bald head on the East Coast, Danny Ocean. You can follow me at Los D-Mix. That's at LOSDEEMIX on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. I'm here all day. Been working on my DJing skills. I'm hoping to come into a venue near you.
Let's do
soon.
it.
Danny, let people know where to find you.
Find me on the bird at BenOcean41. Find us, Speak on the _pod, TikTok, X/Twitter, and Instagram. Are you serious, Washington? Send us your email, speakonthepod14@gmail.com. Again, speakonthepod14@gmail.com. Send us your questions. They don't have to be related to football. It could be life questions, whatever you want. Again, thanks to the fine.
Send us your questions. We gonna answer them. If you want to know how to get that ass, I got you.
Yeah, Deacon talked to you about that. I don't know anything about that.
No, actually, I can't because I love my woman. So
good answer. Good answer.
I can probably lie and tell you about previous experiences.
Are you serious right now? Shoot. She's off anyway. Get overtime. That's crazy. I ain't never seen the game like this. Yo, we got.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not watching right now, you should be watching the WNBA playoffs. It's live. It's lit. We'll be back next week to cover all of it. That's not rhymes. That's just me taking my time thinking through it because y'all know I ain't lying. They call me Los D
Okay.
Mix. Don't forget the baby. You got Los D Mix and Danny Ocean, the smoothest man on the East Coast. Maybe. Listen,
Ooh.
stop playing with me when it comes to these ones and twos because I'm doing something that a lot of y'all just can't do. That's just coming off the dome. And I'm going to go right home because I'm hungry and I want some Five Guys, but not Five Guys in my home because I might grata grata if someone try me. It's Los D Mix and Danny Ocean here
Yo,
on Tuesday live. G.
that was fire. I ain't got nothing for that. We out.
Listen, one of these days I'm gonna send you some of these mixes I be doing in my living room so you can see how I be practicing.
You got the juice.
Listen, all right. Can I give you an honest before we get out of here? An honest thought. I'm thinking about starting some of my. I'm trying to think of ways I can bring some creative elements of my own into some DJ sets.
Uh,
How about I'm thinking about starting sets of mine with uh clips from WWE promos.
that would be hilarious. Like what Wale did with Seinfeld.
Yes, but like with actual promos that kind of fit like how the vibe is that
Yes.
I'm trying to bring.
You have to be an encyclopedia if you reaching that far. You gonna pull out some old Rikishi promo from '03 when he was beefing with the Godfather?
I'm thinking most guys will want to pull from American Dream, John Cena, The Rock, Stone
Let me
Cold,
tell you something. If you
Chris
start a set,
Jericho.
if you start a set with John Cena, the hoes will leave.
Joe, John Cena sometime. All right.
The
John
hoes
Cena got
will leave.
John Cena got a few. You hating. You hating. All right, people. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We'll be back next week. Much love, much gratitude. Los D Mix Danny Ocean. Speak on it, boys.
Peace.
Peace.